This week we navigate along Scotland's prettiest shortcut, the Crinan Canal. This 9-mile stretch means sailors avoid an arduous passage around the Mull of Kintyre to enter the Clyde Estuary. There are 15 locks and 7 bridges that take you from the Crinan Basin to Ardrishaig. Sit back, relax and enjoy the journey. Well, sails are down. We are ready to enter Cruise Marina. This sort of rocky area, you can see some mast just behind it is the marina in there. This rocky area is the sort of protection for the marina. This rib is just heading into the marina entrance, so we're very nearly there. We're going to be doing the same, and it's been a lovely end to this sail. It's actually nice to see blue skies, little white fluffy clouds. It's actually quite warm. The oilies are off again. There's no wind, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we should get in nice and safe now. And just really looking forward to chilling out and relaxing.
Morning everyone. Just an update really. We meant to go out yesterday down to the Crinan, or actually we meant to go to an anchorage, but when we put the instruments on there was a fault with the with almost everything, and we've been going through a diagnostic process, and we've kind of got it down now to, we think it's the auto helm. It's got a C-torque failure, so it's not, the kit's not talking to each other. When we turned it on this morning, because we're thinking of going down to the Crinan, because it's if we have got little wrinkles with the instrumentation, then it's easy to navigate the Crinan because you're just on a canal.
Got missing wind data and depth data on the GPS, but we have still got them on our instruments. So we've still got boat speed and depth and wind speed.
So
we're going to give it a little test go, aren't we?
Yeah, the basic plan is we're going to take her out just into the lock and see what see how it goes. Make sure we are getting, recording as we should. And then if we are, we can make our way down to the Crinan with the last of the tide and lock into the Crinan. That's That's the broad plan, yeah.
So we're making some good progress. We're doing 6 knots over ground, and considering we've gone right at the end of the tide, so it's fairly slack now, we're quite happy with that. We've managed to get a little bit of wind in our sail. We are motor sailing on our jib today. We've had this instrument problem, so we really want to keep our engine running and keep our volts up just in case that's the problem. And it's really quite gusty out here, so with it gusting up past 17 knots, if we put the main up, we've then got to put a reef in to make sure that we don't get overpowered. And with everything that's going on, we just really want to test the boat and make sure we're safe out here and we don't need to turn around and go back. Everything so far so good. We are just passing over here the Corrie of Ecken. So this is one of the most famous pieces of water in the world. It's got one of the fastest, biggest whirlpools. I think it's the 3rd biggest one in the world. So we're not going through there, although there is a boat in there at the moment. You can see a little sailboat in the middle, but like we said, it is slack water, so that might be why they're going through it. It's possible, but it has to be timed perfectly. So maybe that's what that sailboat is doing. We are heading further south, so if Alan shows you over the top of the spray hood, you can see some little islands. We've got an island almost just off the port bow there. We're going to go down and past that one, and then we're going to turn into the east over to the Crinan, and then further around there's another island, and we can see some in the background. Doris Moor is a passage that you can make over there, but also needs to be timed perfectly. And as we just sort of came out on a bit of a whim to test what we'd done yesterday to see if we'd fix things or what the problems were, we haven't timed everything perfectly, so we are basically just making our way down nice and steady. As I said, 6.1 knots, so we're happy with that and enjoying a cup of tea. It's quite a pretty passage with all these islands to pass. I'm really enjoying it. Apart from our alarms are all going off and our Sea Talk failure on our autopilot, everything is good. We are just preparing to come into the sea lock. Alan's helming us the last few hundred metres, and I've prepared the lines. So our stern line is running through the middle of our stern cleat. It runs up has some turns around the winch, and then the tail runs right back to the stern where Alan can control that line while he's stood on the helm, and the winch gives him lots of purchase. So that's a really useful tip if you've never done it before. We've rigged the boat so we've got fenders high all the way down. The more fenders you've got, the better. On the end of each line, I always put a bowline, and I've got a boat hook, so I can hook both lines onto the end of the boat hook and pass them up to the lock keeper, who will put them on the bollards, etc. for us, so we can control the boat from the deck. The line itself is running back. It's rigged the same as the front, so it runs through our strong cleat. I've just tied the end around there as a safety feature with a bowline. It just keeps it in position so I don't lose the end while I'm running around the deck doing jobs, pushing the boat off, etc. So that's how we rig her, ready to go in. It's really windy, so I hope you can hear me. And you can see we rig both sides. Always be prepared. Skipper's gritting his teeth, I think. It is blowy. So we are heading this way. There is a white building, a hotel, and that is the area with the entrance to the sea lock, so that's where we're headed. And you can just see the roof. There's a big roof there that actually says the word Crinan on it, but we can only see the Cre.
So we've arrived here in the Crinan Canal. It was quite feisty coming in, about 23 knots of wind on the nose, but it was fine. The licence gives you 4 days in the canal, but it's only actually 9 miles. So we're going to spend at least 1 night here, mainly because they've got a caff, and we think there's a chandler's, and they've got a shower and toilets, and we've also hooked up to some electricity, so it's pretty well kitted out. And then we're going to make our way through the canal. It's only 9 miles. I think there are 7. Oh, I've forgotten how many locks there are. Can't remember, 13 or 17, but anyway, or 7 bridges. Anyway, I'm waffling. So it won't take us long, and it's amazing. It's Britain's prettiest shortcut. So we're looking forward to doing it this way around. We've done it once before, the other way around.
We've decided to go for a little explore and a walk. We've headed up the hill and I've got views of the basin, and beyond that the sea lock. But lots of wildflowers. We're both panting and out of breath because it's a long way up. We got all the way to the top, and now we're making a circuit back round to Crinan. We're on our way down the hill. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a view along the seafront as we come round. There is a bit of a view across the water. This is Crinan Loch, I believe. We've got a view of. It's Crinan Loch, isn't it? Yeah, Crinan Loch in front of us. You can see little islands and things. Hopefully we'll see a bit of the harbour. We can see a view of Crinan Harbour with some moorings and a little pontoon to come ashore here. Looks very good. As we walk round, we've got this nice view across the sea loch, but there's this massive boatyard. We've been before and never knew it was here. Huge boat sheds, big chandlers. They're even selling food in there, which we might nip round and grab a bit of on Monday. They've got showers and all sorts. A massive facility. We really didn't know it was there or that it would be that good. Definitely worth knowing about. We're almost back round now to the sea loch. Here's the hotel. Great view. And we've come all the way back round to the entrance to the sea loch. You can see the little lighthouse on the left. And then the loch is over here on the right.
The weather's calmed down now.
Yeah, the weather's calmed down really nicely from when we came in. And Seagull is in this basin over here. We've come across the hotel seafood bar. It looks rather nice inside. Lots of tables and seats. And they've got outside. So if you can focus that, that's it. Outside. It's just outside the locks. Got this rather glorious tent. The skipper's not looking though, he's on his phone. And it's got all fairy lights and everything. And he says he's looking at the menu. He thinks we've got rich blood and we can afford to go and eat masses of seafood this evening. Despite having to, fork out for some electronics problems we've got.
To bury our sorrows.
Yeah, bury our sorrows in food. That sounds like a sort of us thing to do. And this is the sea loch we came in earlier. There are 2 boats in. The water inside and out now is much closer than it was when we came in. So, we've come into our first loch this morning. We've had a day in the basin at Crinan, and now we're in the loch. You see the loch gate closing behind Alan. I'm going to have to go in a minute because I've got to adjust our lines in the loch, but we're going to head up and along. It's miserable weather, which is why we stayed in yesterday. But it's no better today, so we're going to move a bit. We've got no internet signal. It's preventing us from doing lots of things, so we're going to move. That's it, we've transited the first loch and now we're heading upriver. You can see that there are mooring stages. I said river, I meant canal. You can see mooring stages along the canal where boats can stop. So you get, when you pay for your licence, you're able to stop on some of these. It's part of the licence and it's free of charge. We are heading towards a swing bridge next. For the swing bridge, you see a sign that often tells you to blow a horn to let them know you're coming. Today the staff have already let them know we're coming and there's a boat waiting to go through, so it should be 2 boats through the swing bridge heading towards the Ardrishaig locks.
Thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe.
So this has been our berth in the Ardrishaig Basin. We've got lovely blue skies today. We've been lucky enough to get alongside where we got power. There's no water. We're not quite sure why, but the tap doesn't work. We are about to lock out today. So we've got to go through this swing bridge into the final lock, which is the sea lock, and then we're out into Lock Fine. Not quite sure where we're going to go. I think we're going to go out and see what the wind's like and make a decision when we get there.